What is up, guys? Archon Tanami bringing you guys another YouTube video. This is the preseason 2021 Mythic and Legendary Items preview. So this is going to be a long video because it's going to cover all the Mythic items. I believe it's all 22, and then some of the Legendary items. So bear with me, guys. I may ramble about some of the items. I may misunderstand them at first when I read them and read them a second time and then actually understand them. So please bear with me. I don't want to have to redo this video a whole bunch. I do have 2 other videos to work on today. I'll be doing a 10.20 patch review for League, and then I'm also going to be doing a Hearthstone patch review for the Elementals, because they, all have to coordinate and release content at the same time, and, overwhelm everybody. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop right on into it. So the items should be on the PBE, I believe, and they're going to be there for 6-week testing period, so that means we're probably going to get the items in mid-November. You guys have seen the Marksman Mythics before, but I'm going to quickly do a quick rundown. Basically, Gale Force is the dash item. It's 3,400 gold, 55 attack damage, 20% attack speed, 20% crit strike chance, and when you use the active, the dash, it will deal a total of 105 at level 1 to 300 at level 18, plus 30% bonus attack damage, so it scales with your bonus attack damage, and it deals it as magic damage. And it increases against low health targets by up to 50%. Increasing against low health targets by up to 50% against targets at 30% HP. So if the target's at 30% HP and you use this without any of the bonus attack damage, and you use it at level 18, you're going to hit a target for 450 as magic damage. So in most cases, a 30% health target is probably just going to die, realistically, to that. In most cases, especially with like the bonus attack damage, you're probably going to hit for 500 to 600. And then the Mythic Passive is grants all the legendary items plus 3% move speed. So when you're done building your full build, you're going to have a free 15% move speed from your items. So on champions like Jhin, I could see this being really strong, especially with the fact that most times if he crits you with that 4th auto and it doesn't kill you, you're going to be low enough to where he can dash with this item into you and you're just going to die. Not to mention that the move speed that he gets, he may not even need to dash into you. He can just probably run you down. Kraken Slayer. This was Behemoth Slayer in the AD carry video that we went over a while ago. It's the anti-tank true damage item. It's 3,400 gold, plus 60 attack damage, plus 25% attack speed, plus 20% crit strike chance. Every third attack is enhanced, dealing an additional 80 to 120. So 80 at level 1 to 120 at 18, plus 30% bonus attack damage scaling as true damage. The Mythic Passive grants all the legendary items plus 10% attack speed. So you get a free 50% attack speed once you're full build. That seems really strong to me. Especially on champs like Vayne. You could even say Jinx, because she gains a bunch of attack speed. You could even argue Twitch to a degree. This could be really strong on as well, because he comes out and usually cleans up a team fight, and it's only a couple of autos. He also scales really well with attack speed, just like Kog'Maw. With Lethal Tempo, I could see this being just broken out the get-go, because Lethal Tempo, from what I remember, actually, I believe, removes the attack speed limit. So as long as you have Lethal Tempo up and you're in it, you can attack faster than what the cap is normally. So items like Ginsu's are going to be really strong. I'm trying to think of what else you're going to typically see. Bork is going to be really strong because you're going to do % health with it. So basically it's just going to be an all-around attack speed build, and then supports like Lulu with attack speed steroids are just going to be insane. Be interesting to see how this one gets balanced. This will be the big one I think will be changed. Next up, we have Immortal Shield Bow. Sorry about the awkward delay, guys. I am a little bit sick right now. I am coughing and sneezing. I'm trying to use OBS's pause function, so that way I don't have to redo the video, and I don't have to mute my mic and, buy time for me to cough and hack my brains out. So I'm going to try the pause function. Let me know how that works. If you guys think that I should do it the other way, or I just mute and let you guys know that I'm coughing or whatever, that's fine too. Anyway, moving on. Tank Mythics. Sunfire Aegis. This is going to replace Sunfire Cape. I would imagine it has Sunfire in the name. Ramping damage, 3,200 gold, plus 450 health, plus 30 armor, plus 30 magic resist, plus 15 ability haste. Immolate. Deals 20 at level 1 to 40 at level 18, plus 1% bonus health magic damage per second to nearby enemies, increased by 50% against minions and monsters. Damaging enemy champions or epic monsters with this effect adds a stack, increasing subsequent Immolate damage by 12% for 5 seconds. Stacks 6 times. So I believe the math is like 70 without any of the haste scaling. Let's see. So it's 12 times 6 because it increases by 12%. So 12 times 6, 72. So what's 40% of 72 times 0.72 here? So you're going to have an extra roughly 30. So we're going to round up. It's going to do about 69 damage to the target. That's without any of the bonus or the bonus percent health, 1% or whatever. So, anyways, at max attack, your basic attacks explode around you, burning nearby enemies for your immolate damage for 3 seconds. So I'm guessing what this means is that if you attack a target, it explodes, and then it deals a second dot that applies a little bit faster than your just standing there dot. So you hit the target, it burns for 3 seconds, as well as already still burning for the 5 seconds that it was before. So that seems pretty strong for tanks. It's going to be pretty good wave clear. Grants all, and the passive is grants all of the legendary items plus 5 ability haste, so you're going to have 25 ability haste by the time you're done, just from this item alone, once you're full build. Crossfire Gauntlet. Slows enemies 3,200 gold, 350 health, 50 armor, 30 magic resist, 15 ability haste. So it looks like Iceborne Gauntlet is also being remade. Immolate. Looks like Immolate is the same, except for it doesn't do the extra stacking. That's the Sunfire specialty. Let's look down here. So it looks like Immolate is going to be the passive on all the tank items. So every tank item mythic is going to have a Sunfire effect. The effect for the Frostfire Gauntlet is Frostfire. Attacks create a frost field that slows enemies by 30%, plus 4% per 1000 bonus health for 1.5 seconds. It's a 4-second cooldown. So basically, yes, it's Iceborne Gauntlet. As well, and the passive grants all the legendary items plus 100 health and plus 7.5% size. I think the 7.5% size is kind of just a joke thing. You know, poor Cho'Gath out here used to be the only one that could grow giant. Now everybody can grow giant. You're going to get, by the way, a free 500 health as well once you finish your full build. And that's going to be absolutely just amazing for certain champions like Cho'Gath as well, where he's just going to run you down and just chomp your face in. He really doesn't need extra health to do that. He does that pretty effectively already. And I think that he could get away with using the gauntlet for sure, because he pops you up, walks in, hits you, circles down on the ground. He pops Stone Skin Gargoyle, gets that extra HP, and then just bites you in the face, and next thing you know, you're just going back to the fountain because you dealt like 5k of true damage to your face. I could also see Malphite being pretty good with this. Any like tank that has like a hard engage is going to be pretty good with this, because they're going to be able to just engage on you and then keep you there. So anyway, next up, Berserker Suit Initiation. 3,200 gold, plus 350 health, plus 30 armor, plus 50 magic resist, plus 15 ability haste. Grant plus 75% move speed when moving towards enemies or enemy turrets for 4 seconds. Once near an enemy, after 4 seconds, a shockwave is emitted, slowing nearby enemies or enemy champion move speed by 75% for 2 seconds and 90-second cooldown. So basically, this is going to be Righteous Glory. So the champions that ran Righteous Glory as just a legendary item, they're probably going to hurt a bit because they're now forced to build it as a legendary item. And I honestly think that I think Sunfire Aegis is going to be really, really good for pushing. And it's going to be really, really good. It's going to be like Cinderhulk, essentially. Well, I shouldn't say it's like Cinderhulk, because Cinderhulk is basically Sunfire Cape, but for junglers. That's a wrong way for me to word that. I really don't know which of the three is the best, honestly. I think champions that obviously, like tanks that need to get on top of their target, but can't catch their target. Berserker Suit's going to be really good. It may even come down to a weird, wacky what's what of mythic items, where if you see a person building Gale Force, you're going to need to build the initiation item in order to keep up with them to engage on them. If you see them building Kraken Slayer, you're going to probably need to build something that, like, maybe the Sunfire Aegis, in order to try to burn them down or deal as much damage as humanly possible to them before they murder your face in with true damage. The Immortal Shield Bow, you could probably build the Frostfire Gauntlet in order to keep them in place so they can't get away from you once you engage on them. Then you wait out the 9-second lifesteal. So there's definitely going to be some counterplay amongst mythic items. That's going to be something to think about. I don't think one champion is just guaranteed going to constantly go the same mythic item. I think that that's going to change. There is going to be some counter build to the mythic items. So even if a AD carry gets a lead, you can see what items he's going and what he's setting up for, and then you can go and counter that build. So it'd be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting between the tank items here. Up next, we have AD Assassin. So AD Assassin items. We have the Duskblade of Drakthar, Team Fight Multi-Kill. Interesting concept. Why not just call it Team Fight Pentakill? 3,200 gold, plus 55 attack damage, plus 18 lethality, plus 25 ability haste. Dusk. Attacking an enemy deals 50 at level 1 to 150 at level 18, plus 30% bonus attack damage, additional physical damage, and slows them by 99% for 0.25 seconds. 15-second cooldown. When a champion you have damaged within the last 3 seconds is killed, reset this cooldown and gain invisibility for 1.5 seconds. Grants all other legendary items plus 5 ability haste. So by the end of it, you'll have 25 ability haste. This seems interesting to me. It definitely seems like the original Duskblade, kind of. I'm trying to remember, because Duskblade's gone through so many reworks throughout the years. I think maybe originally it was like a Z-alt where you deal your damage up front, and then after a certain amount of time, it would then deal that damage again, and it was like insanely good with Dark Harvest, because Dark Harvest, again, got reworked a million times as well. Dark Harvest, I think, used to be similar in that regard, and then it would just pop your target instantly. And now I think it does apply a slow for melee, if I'm not mistaken. Range don't get the slow, they just get the damage. I don't know, Duskblade's just in a really weird spot. So seeing it reverted kind of back to what it was after its first rework is really nice. Knowing that I don't believe that the AD carry champions can get a hold of this item anymore means that they can balance it however they want for assassins, which is a big deal. This is definitely something that Riot should have done a long time ago, is made certain items class specific, essentially, so that you don't have this problem where certain classes are using items outside that you're intending for others classes. Like right now, a prime example is Death Stance. Everybody builds Death Stance, except for mages, obviously. Granted, I'm probably sure that there's a way for a mage to build Death Stance and it still be the most effective item that they could build. But they do have the Hourglass, which I think fits that need pretty well. But Death Stance is a prime example of them building an item for Bruiser, and now everybody else is abusing it. Anyway, Eclipse is up next. Dueling, 3,200 gold, plus 50. Actually, let's talk about let's talk about the invisibility. I think this is going to be really, really strong. Like, Kha'Zix already has invisibility in his kit, so he can actually jump in, insta-gib you, not use his R, go invis for 1.5 seconds, hang onto his R until he really absolutely needs it, and just cut through your entire backline, just slaughtering everybody. Talon's the same deal. Like, Talon will engage on you with his R, go invis, jump on your AD carry, crush the AD carry, walk out, invis, go over a wall, and you'll never see him. Like, this doesn't feel good in concept, because it makes me think that there's not going to be very much counterplay to assassins if they are able to get on the AD carry. Like, especially ones with like instant gap closures. Like I said, Talon, prime example. He's just going to jump to the back line, dead, gone, no counterplay. Where did he go? Unless he turret dives you, you're not going to see him. So anyway, let's move on to Eclipse. Dueling, 3,200 gold, plus 55 attack damage, plus 18 lethality, plus 10 Omnivamp. So they're adding Omnivamp, if that hasn't already been a thing. Moonstrike, hitting a champion with 2 separate attacks or abilities within 1.5 seconds deals bonus physical damage equal to 16% of their maximum health and grants you 30% move speed and a 150 plus 80% bonus attack damage shield. 100 plus 60% bonus attack damage for ranged champions. So, are there ranged assassins? Ranged melee assassins? I'm trying to think if off my mind. I don't think I can think of any that are considered assassins that are ranged, right? If you guys can tell me what champion specifically they're referring to, please let me know down below. Otherwise, I'm getting the impression that these items aren't actually locked like I thought they were originally. Maybe every class can purchase them, which seems weird. But anyway, let me know down below. For ranged champions for 2 seconds, 6 second cooldown, 12 seconds for ranged champions. Mythic Passive, grant all the legendary items plus 5% armor pen. So this is going to essentially be the item that you want to build against tanks, because it deals 16% of their maximum health. And it's a 6 second cooldown for melee, so every 6 seconds you can, make a trade where you get 16% of their maximum health, easy peasy. And you get a shield to make the trade even safer. I think this is going to be pretty strong, like I said, against tanks. You're not going to go against AD carries or squishy characters. There's no need for that. You pretty much just one-shot them anyway. Plus, it does give you healing whenever you use abilities. So, this is your survivability, and it's also your tank item. Assassination, Prowler's Claw. 3,200 gold, 65 attack damage, plus 21 lethality, plus 10 ability haste. Active, from the shadows, dash through target enemy, dealing 100 at level 1 to 200 at level 18, plus 45% bonus attack damage as physical damage, and reducing their armor by 30% for 3 seconds. 60 second cooldown. The passive grants all of the legendary items, plus 6 lethality. So it sounds like a Renekton E, essentially, the empowered Renekton E, where he dashes through, shreds your armor, deals damage to you, goes on a 5 second cooldown. So I guess this is kind of like an Akali Execute as well. You could look at it that way. The second part of her ultimate. It depends on how far you dash, if it's going to be any use, because if you don't dash far enough, then you've pretty much put yourself in a spot where you're probably going to kill the AD carry, yes, but then you're going to instantly die because you didn't get out of everybody else's range. So it's going to probably be a good solo skirmish. Obviously, assassination, I guess that's what they mean. I guess they don't mean team fight assassination. They probably just mean, roaming assassination where you catch like the AD carry out doing farm bottom while the rest of his team's mid or something. You just dash to him, finish him off real quick, and then one-shot him and leave. AP Mythics are up next, and it says AP Mythics with mana. So this is going to be the mana champs. So it looks like Liandry's Anguish is first. Anti-tank, 3,400 gold, plus 80 ability power, plus 600 mana, plus 25 ability haste. So they're getting rid of Liandry's Torment and replacing this. Torment. Your spells cause enemies to burn for 60 plus 10% ability power, plus 4% target's maximum health, magic damage over 4 seconds, shredding their magic resist by 5% for 4 seconds, up to 25%. So if you're playing Cassiopeia, you're probably going to run somebody down with this, and you're just going to melt them. Because you're going to have this stacked magic resist, it stacks 5 times. It's up to 5 or 25%. So you easily hit an E, or hit a Q on a target, E, and they don't have any magic resist, essentially. Like a fourth of it's just gone. And you're also dealing 4% of their maximum health over 4 seconds. And I don't know if this stacks as well, where it stacks up to 5 times, so you can actually deal up to 20 and it just keeps a dot on them. I doubt that's the case. I bet you it probably just refreshes this portion of it. And then the magic resist is the only thing that stacks. But anyway, that'll be interesting. Mythic Passive grants all of the legendary items plus 5 ability haste. Look at that. It works really, really well for Cassiopeia, because you even get ability haste to spam more abilities. I'm sure there's other champions that this would be interesting on as well. None of them are coming to mind right now. Luden's Tempest. Burst damage, 3,400 gold, plus 80 ability power, plus 600 mana, plus 10 ability haste, plus 10 magic penetration. So Luden's Echo is being reworked into Tempest. Echo, damaging an enemy with an ability, deals 100 plus 50% ability power, additional magic damage to your target and 3 nearby enemies, and grants you 30% move speed for 3 seconds, 8-second cooldown. Grants all other legendary items plus 5 magic penetration. So if you want to go Magic Pen, you would go Luden's. So it looks like Magic Pen is going to be pretty strong, because unless they're removing the other items that give you pen, you're just going to get a free 25. Boots is what, I think 10 or 11 or some weird number like that. Morello's is like 12 as well, and then I think Void is what, 40% on top of that. So geez, you're going to basically be dealing true damage to squishy characters, essentially. As for the the Echo damage, that seems interesting. So Echo is no longer a stacking thing, whereas before it used to be kind of like an energized attack where you'd move around, you'd stack your charges, and then you'd proc it. It's a flat 8-second cooldown. It's also giving you a free 30% move speed for 3 seconds, which to me seems a bit weird to just lump that in here. You would buy this for wave clear as well, and I guess the 30% move speed here, guys, have free move speed. His move speed creep hasn't already just decimated this game. Immobile mages are now no longer immobile. Interesting. Everfrost slows enemies, 3,400 gold, plus 80 ability power, plus 200 health, plus 600 mana, plus 10 ability haste. Active Frigid Blast. Deal 100 plus 30% ability power damage in a cone, slowing enemies by 65% for 1.5 seconds. Enemies at the center of the cone are rooted instead. 45-second cooldown. The passive grants all other legendary items plus 15 ability power. So that is going to be a, I believe, free 75 ability power, right? 5 times 15. Yep, 75 ability power. Quick math. That, right now, I believe is what? Almost a Zanya's, maybe a little more than a Zanya's worth of ability power. Kind of interesting. The thing that kind of worries me, though, is the Frigid Blast active. Because it doesn't say an enemy, the first enemy or whatever, first enemy, what have you. It says enemies at the center of the cone are rooted instead. So basically what this is it's going to give immobile mages or any mage that uses mana a free root on a target if you can properly set this up. And it's really not hard in a team fight setting to, you know, have somebody, like even on a jungle gank. If you first build this item, your jungler ganks, you can pop this item on the enemy and they just get rooted. Or you could even set up a gank with this. It's almost like free ganks mid. And for 1.5 seconds, that's a long time to be rooted, by the way. That's a long time to not be able to get away from a gank or flash or anything. And champions like Xerath keep coming to mind with this, where he hits his E on you, he walks in, hits the cone on you, now you're rooted, and it sets up the jungler's gank, and it almost makes it impossible for you to do anything to counterplay. You get hit by one E, you're dead. 100% gonna just explode. No counterplay. This worries me a bit. It's no longer the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, where your abilities slow people. I think that that's kind of interesting. It's now kind of like a 45-second all-in tool instead, and it does give you 75 ability power. So if you're just looking for pure damage, it's going to be a pretty good item. This item I think is going to be, this will be the item so far that I've seen that is probably going to get reworked. That and maybe the Duskblade. I could see that one easily being reworked as well, because just how broken it is, where you assassinate somebody, you go invis for 1.5, you walk out, and there's like nothing that the enemy can do to you. This is going to be strong if you can get this first item early game, where you just set up a jungle gank and free gold in whatever lane you buy this item in. And if not, it's still a 65% slow, which sets you up for your abilities anyway. Next up is AP Mythics non-mana items. So this would be champions like Akali that use AP but don't have mana. Or Kennen. X-Tech Rocket Belt. Mobility, 3200 gold plus 80 ability power plus 250 health plus 15 haste. Active Firebolt. Dash in a target direction, unleashing an arc of rockets that deals 250 at level 1 to 350 at level 18 magic damage, then gain 75% move speed towards champions for 1 second. 40-second cooldown. The Mythic Passive is grants all their legendary items plus 5 magic penetration. So, again, you're probably only going to see this on Kennen. Maybe Rumble. Trying to think, because Protobelt already was a very, very niche item for certain champions. Echo will no longer be going this item, so Echo will have to go one of these instead. I could easily, oh sorry, got a cough. Sorry about that. I was about to cough on the mic and then caught myself, and that's why it sounded so strange. But anyway, I could see Echo probably going Luden's Tempest, honestly, or he could even go Everfrost and instantly pop the cone, gain a root, then set up his W a bit more efficiently, where he can actually throw the W out in lane, E into a target, cone, they can't move for 1.5, then they're perma-stun for 1.5. Echo, I think, will be fine. He's one of the prime examples of a champion that runs the Proto Belt now, but probably won't have... I don't know how these AP Mythic items work, because I can't think of any ranged assassins, and they mentioned a ranged cooldown. So, I think he'll be fine. He's going to lose a key item, but he'll be fine. He'll make it up in other ways. Mux Folly. Magic Vamp, 3200 gold plus 80 ability power plus 15%, or sorry, plus 15 ability haste plus 150 health plus 10% Omnivamp. For each second in combat, champion combat, deal 3% bonus damage max 15 while this effect is max. Convert 100% of the bonus true damage into, or sorry, 100% of the bonus damage into true damage. Mythic Passive, grant all of legendary items plus 5 magic penetration. So this seems pretty strong. Not too sure who's taking this. Rumble, probably, for sure. This is probably going to be Rumble's new one. If he doesn't take Proto Belt, I could easily see this being Rumble's. Because his Q puts you in combat forever, you E, and then 100% of his Q ends up becoming true damage. You'd probably get the max set, so it stacks 5 times, up to 15. And then you throw it on the ult, and then 100% of the bonus damage that you deal from the 15% here is going to be converted into true damage on the target. Pretty strong. All around, I would say this item is going to be pretty good for a lot of the manaless champions. Akali is probably the only one that this item doesn't necessarily benefit, though you could get use out of it if you wanted to. It'd be hard, but you could. I think it's, like I said, it's Rumble Kennen probably, for sure. Not sure where Mordekaiser falls in, but Mord would also benefit from this as well. Night Harvester, Teamfight Multi-Kill, 3200 gold, plus 80 ability power, plus 250 health, plus 15 ability haste. The Reaping, damaging an enemy champion deals 150 at level 1 to 250 at level 18 magic damage, and grants you 25% move speed for 1.5 seconds, 60-second cooldown per champion. Mythic Passive grants all other legendary items +5 ability haste. So this item to me, like without seeing, this is another one of those items I have to actually see to understand because this seems really weird. So it says 60-second cooldown. Oh, so it can only be applied on a champion once per 60 seconds. How that works. It's kind of, so think of it like Silas Ultimate, where he can only steal your ultimate once per whatever the timer is on his ultimate. So don't be confused and think that if you hit an enemy champion with this, it goes on cooldown for 60 seconds total. That's not how this works. Basically, if you hit hit everybody on the enemy team, all those enemy champions are going to be immune to this effect for 60 seconds. And then once that 60 seconds is up, you can hit him with it again. Or you could even play like a Kali, kill your mid laner, and then it goes on a 60-second cooldown against that mid laner. You go top, you hit that enemy, and it applies this again, and then goes on a 60-second cooldown against that champ. So it's not a flat 60-second cooldown is what I'm getting at. I'm trying to explain it in the best way possible so that nobody has a misunderstanding here of how this works. Anyway, so yeah, I can see this being a good team fight multi-kill item. It's a free 250 damage. It's about what Gunblade gives you nowadays, and I don't think Gunblade is been listed as a mythic item, right? No. So, we're on to 80 fighter items. Oh baby, the fighter rework is here. So first item up, we have Spear of Sojourn. No, I'm kidding. We have Trinity Force. First damage, 3,333 gold. 33 attack damage, 33 attack speed, 200 health, 15 ability haste. Could you imagine if it was 330 health or 33 health? That'd be hilarious. Swift Strikes. Your attacks grant you 25 move speed and 5% base attack damage. What? Let me reread that. Your attacks grant you 25 move speed and 5% base attack damage. Basic attack damage for 3 seconds. Basic attack damage increase stacks up to 6 times. So you get 30% of your base attack damage at max per auto attack. So it's going to be good on champions that auto attack. Irelia comes to mind. Lee Sin's probably not a good pick for this, honestly, because he uses more abilities to execute you. He's going to probably be more... Oh, maybe he's considered a ranged champion. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out the ranged assassin champion, sorry. Like I said, please let me know down below if you guys can tell me a ranged melee AD assassin, because I can't think of any off the top of my head. Anyway, Irelia is really good with this. You could say Darius, maybe, because Darius has a lot of auto resets and he likes to auto you a lot to get his bleeds on you, so that you'd get more damage per auto. You'd get more damage from your bleed essentially, because it would cause a better breakpoint for his bleed to kill a target. Because getting to the point where you get 5 stacks, usually the target's at like 50% and then they bleed for another 25%, and that takes you, obviously, your Q doesn't count for this, I don't believe, or it doesn't say, rather, it says your attacks. So maybe, I don't know. I'd have to see the item to see if abilities work on this. Anyway, Irelia is really good for sure, 100%. Spellblade, after using an ability, your next attack deals 200% base attack damage, bonus physical damage after 1.5 seconds. So it still does have the Spellblade passive, by the way. Oh my god, this is gonna like be just disgusting on certain champions. Like, Irelia just keeps popping into mind. This item is now literally made for Irelia. She is just going to crap on people. What is Riot thinking? So, her basic attacks are going to deal 30% more damage once you get to 6, and it's going to be very easy to get to 6 stacks, trust me, as Irelia. Because you have slows, you have stuns, you have gap closers, and you also still get the Spellblade 200% bonus attack damage. I wonder how this interacts with the 6 times stack as well. Because it adds 5% to your base attack damage, stacking up to 6 times. I have to play with this item to see how it works. If it works how I think it works, this item is going to be absolutely insane, like I said. I'm trying to think who else this would be good on. Kled would be really good. Kled would probably build this, I could see, for sure. He'd Q into you, E into you, and his W is just 3 auto attacks straight up, and then on you. Wow. And then you get plus 15 attack speed as well, so from your other items. So by the end of this, you're getting like what the 80 carries got, 50% attack speed. Oh no, you're getting 75% attack speed. I'm sorry. As a bruiser, once you're full build. Just a free 75% attack speed. On top of the 33 it already gives. So basically this item gives 108 attack speed. What the? Okay, let's see what the rest of the items do. Gore Drinker, Dueling, 3300 gold, plus 45 attack damage, plus 400 health, plus 15 ability haste, plus 150 basic health regen. Base health regen. Active, Thirsting Slash, deal 110 total attack damage, physical damage to enemies in a circle. Recover 20% total attack damage health plus 12% missing health for each champion hit, 15-second cooldown, reduced by ability haste. So basically think of a Darius Q. Aggression, gain 1%. So Darius is actually going to have 2 ways to regenerate health during a fight. He could Q you, and then pop this item right after and heal off that item. By that point, his Q is up again, and by that point, the Thirsting Slash should be close to being up again. And Darius just keeps slicing people up. Anyway, Aggression, gain 1% increased attack damage for every 5% of your missing health. Max 15% attack damage at 75% missing health. Mythic Passive, grants all other legendary items plus 3 ability haste and plus 5 attack damage. So Darius, Tryndamere, actually Tryndamere could probably be really good with this Trinity Force now that I think about it, because he does E-spam a lot. I could easily see this being pretty good on Tryndamere, and he does like attack speed as well. So Tryndamere, Aurelia, probably Darius. Trying to think who else. This would probably be Kled up here as well. This one, like I said, it's Darius. I'm trying to think of the other bruisers. Aatrox probably likes this one as well, because Aatrox obviously likes lifesteal, especially with his R being buffed in the 10.20, which we'll be going over, like I said, in a separate video. Yeah. Bruisers are looking like they're going to get some decent items. Let's hope that these items don't get nerfed into the floor. I could see, like I said, Trinity Force. If it works the way I think it does, that item is definitely going to be. Stride Breaker slows enemies 3,300 gold, 50 attack damage, plus 28% attack speed, plus 300 health, plus 10 ability power. Nimble, dealing physical damage grants you 20 move speed on hit for 2 seconds, increased to 60 if it kills the unit. Active, Swift Slash, lunge a short distance and deals 110 total damage as physical to enemies in a circle, slowing them by 60%, decaying over 2 seconds. 20% or sorry, 20-second cooldown. The Mythic Passive grants all the legendary items plus 3% move. So this could also be a really good Darius item, as it gives you the ability to run people down. I'm trying to think like who else would even run this. Aatrox really doesn't have trouble keeping up with people because he gets move speed from his ultimate. Aurelia is probably just going to go Trinity Force 100%. She doesn't even need this item. Kled doesn't need this item either, honestly, because he just runs you down anyway, Qs you, Es to you, dashes. I'm trying to think of like all the bruisers that go top. I think Mundo's considered a tank. He's not really considered a bruiser, right? Huh. So this is kind of interesting. I'm trying to think like who specifically, like I said, Darius could go it for sure, just to make sure that he gets that extra sticking power to guarantee that he gets that extra bleed. This would be more for a matchup where he doesn't need to worry about survivability, so he wouldn't go Gore Drinker, he'd go this, just because he can afford to. Seems more like a luxury item. I'm thinking of like how this active sounds. Like it sounds to me almost like if you were to, for an example, think of it like a Wukong dashing and then pressing R at the same time. That's kind of the vibe it's giving me, where you dash the target, then you do a circle attack or something. Because it says it deals all damage to enemies in a circle, slowing them by 60%, decaying over 2 seconds. You lunge a short distance and you deal physical damage to enemies in a circle. Oh, never mind. Yeah. So it kind of is like Wukong when you think about it. So you get to the target, except for the dash doesn't do damage. The circle does damage. So your dash is just there for flash. There for show, we'll say, instead of flash. So it's there for show, and then you hit enemies in a circle once you get there. Okay, that makes sense. Divine Devourer, Anti-Tank, 3,300 gold. Like I said, guys, stay with me. This is a long video, and it's a lot to process. And it's also 7 in the morning. Divine Devourer, Anti-Tank, 3,300 gold, plus 40 attack damage, plus 400 health, plus 25 ability haste. Spellblade, after using ability, your next attack deals bonus damage equal to 6% of your max health. 1.5 second cooldown, pay 150% base attack damage, minimum damage. Feast, when Spellblade hits a champion, heal for 60% of the damage amount. Oh god. That seems quite strong for a bruiser to match up against a tank. Mythic Passive grants all the legendary items plus 100 haste. So you get a free 500 health just for existing this item once you're full build. God. Spellblade hits an enemy. So empowered auto champions, I wonder if this is going to calculate their empowered auto in this math, or if it's just going to be the Spellblade hit itself. I usually know, I know Spellblade does typically work with empowered autos, but thinking about this sounds like a really strong heal. So Aatrox could potentially go this and be even more of an anti-tank menace. He'd RE, stab him with his empowered auto, heal for that, heal for the 60% from the auto itself, and then that gets amplified by, I believe, 100% in his rank 3 ultimate now. What the heck? And we looked at the tank items already. There's nothing for this. Wow. Like, the tanks have nothing against this. Like, they have Frostborn or Iceborne Gauntlet where they put the circle on the ground. They have an Engage and Righteous Glory. Then they have the Sunfire where it deals double Sunfire damage, almost 100 damage or whatever. I guess if you're taking for 140 from the Sunfire Aegis, then yeah, that's probably reasonable. 1.5 second cooldown, so you do it in a trade capacity. You wouldn't all in somebody with the. You'd whittle the tank down bit by bit. Oh, and the item gives 400 health, so it actually gives 900 health. And the 25 ability haste probably isn't to be underestimated either. Wow. So I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I guess this one's Gore Drinker is probably a better AoE option for fights. I don't know. Can you sell mythic items and buy other mythic items, or are you locked in once you buy a mythic item? That's the other thing to think about. You're not locked in, and you can actually swap your mythic item. You could even go, as weird as it sounds, you could go Gore Drinker early. Sorry, not Gore Drinker early, Gore Drinker late, and then you could try Divine Devour on certain champions that hit really hard with on-hit attacks to heal for a bunch of HP. Just some ideas. Like I said, without actually seeing the items and seeing like what the healing actually looks like with this, it's hard to get a good read. It's just all speculation on my end. Does sound interesting though. And we move on. I think 80 fighters are going to be pretty good. Bruisers are going to be in a good spot. Enchanters are up next. Cherulia's Battle Song. Team Mobility. 2600 gold plus 300 health plus 25 ability haste plus 10% move speed. Active Inspire. Grants you and your nearby allies 40% decay move speed for 4 seconds and 60 at level 1 to 100 at level 18 bonus magic damage on your next 3 attacks or ability hits against enemy champions. Grants all of the legendary items plus 3 move percent. Get free 15% move speed. Huh. Definitely an interesting item for sure. So I could see enchanters running this if your 80 carry is running the Goliath Breaker or whatever it's called now, the Kraken Slayer. So that way you give them extra move speed for 4 seconds so they can kite a bit more efficiently. And you also get an extra at level 18 100% or sorry 100 magic damage on the auto attacks of the 80 carry for free autos. So that's basically like literally 300 in this item's damage, 120 for the third auto, so you're dealing about 420 in just item damage. That's not including like what their kit does. That is pretty strong. Like I said, without seeing the other ones, this one does seem like you'd go it with Kraken Slayer. Locket of the Iron Solari, Survive Burst, 2600 gold, 150 health, 25 ability haste, 30 magic resist, 30 armor. Intervention. Grant nearby allies a 260 at level 1 to 430 at level 18 shield, decaying over 2.5 seconds, 90-second cooldown. Iron Aura. Grant nearby allied champions plus 5 armor and magic resist. Mythic Passive. Grant all of the legendary items a 2 or plus 2 armor and magic resist increase to Iron Aura. So once you're full built with this, you're going to have basically 15 armor and magic resist you're giving your team just for existing. That's not bad. And then you yourself... Oh no, it's only nearby allies. It's not yourself. Okay, so it doesn't include yourself in the Iron Aura passive. I was going to say, because that would make this 45 and 45. So it's not quite that strong. So I guess if the opposing team is heavy burst, your AD carry can go the Crimson Shield Bow. And then they can go, you can go Locket or whatever. And that helps them stay alive through the burst. And then they can carry the game once all the burst is done. I think I like it. The range on it has to be kind of big, otherwise it's going to feel useless. If it's like Guardian where you have to be standing on top of your AD carry, then it's not going to feel as good, obviously. But we'll have to see what the range is on it. Moonstone Renewer. Healing over time. 2600 gold, 150 health, 25 ability haste, 100% base mana regen. When affecting champions with attacks or abilities in combat, heal the most damage nearby ally for 30 at level 1 to 60 at level 18. Health 2-second cooldown. Each second spent in combat with champion increases his healing effect by 25% for a maximum of 100. So at 5 seconds in combat, at 4 seconds in combat, you get the max. So that means that your healing at level 18 is going to be 120 because it doubles. Grant all the legendary items plus 5 ability haste. But it is a 2-second cooldown as well. So it's not quite as spammable as you would think. It kind of reminds me of Brigitte from Overwatch in a way, where actually she got changed. I don't even know if she works the same way as the last time I played it, where she would throw you an armor pack. That armor pack would regen health over time, or no, the armor pack would regen health like up front, and then her passive was Inspire, where if she hit an enemy, it would regen health over time. So she reminds me a little. Or this item reminds me a little bit of Brigitte. So kind of interesting for sure. Oh, we're on to the legendary items. That is all of the mythic items. So let me know what you guys think of these items. Like I said, I think that the winners here from this, believe it or not, are going to probably be Marksman with the Kraken Slayer. 80 Assassins. The Duskblade seems really strong. This is probably not to be underestimated against tanks, but I think Duskblade's probably the top item you're going to see people go, just because the free 1.5 second stealth, if they can kill a target. As for AP Mythics, I think it's going to be Everfrost that's going to end up eclipsing the other two items. Granted, this is meant for tanks, and this is just meant for wave clear and burst damage. But again, if you can freeze a target in place for not stun, but root a target for 1.5 seconds, that's a long time to be rooted in League of Legends. So it'll set up early ganks. I think it'll be really strong. As for AP Mythic items, I think that this item right here, Mux Folly, is going to be pretty strong. Especially on champions like Rumble, Kennen. Kennen may opt for Hextech Rocket Belt. I think it's more of a luxury item for him than anything else because you can still use your flash to get in. So it's not like you don't have options as Kennen in order to get in. Plus your E gives you a crap ton of move speed. So you do have the ability to run people down. It's just more of a luxury item for him to guarantee that he gets in on his ult. Mux Folly, though, guarantees that his damage increases. So this stacks 5 times for 5 seconds. So if you were to queue an enemy champion before engaging on them, you could start the timer for this. And then use it once you're at 15% max, and then just convert everything into true or 100% of the damage that you do, or sorry, not 100% of the damage, but 15% of the damage you do will be converted into 100% true damage. Weird math. Anyway, Night Harvester is probably going to be your AP Assassin item if you don't use mana, so Akali comes to mind here. Riven comes... No, I'm kidding. Akali comes to mind here for sure. This will be her item. I'm not sure if there's any other AP Assassins that don't use mana. I guess Kennen, if you really want to count Kennen as an AP Assassin, I mean, you could use this on Kennen. I think this one would probably be better. I don't see you using this on Rumble, obviously. That's just not going to be good value. You're better off running either this or the other, because your fire will get a lot of benefit. This one's actually probably the most diverse out of the three, or out of the mythics so far that we've covered, because this covers each of the champions, and I think that they did this because there's only a select few amount of AP manaless champions, you know. So they kind of had to make the items feel more akin to their kits. there was less to work with, so it was easier to fit. 80 fighters, Irelia is going to be insane. Gore Drinker, this could be pretty good on Darius, I could see easily being really, really good, especially in a team fight capacity. Stride Breaker, again, another Darius item, I think, because it allows you to stick to your target. And if you wanted to, you wouldn't have to run Ghost anymore because you could use this in place of Ghost, I believe, from what it looks like, in order to stick to the target. I wouldn't use this in a team fight. Honestly, like, I can't think of a bruiser that's going to use this in a team fight because it just... I don't know. I don't know. This item just seems really weird, or seems really weak compared to the other items. We'll have to see how it plays. Stride Breaker or Divine Devourer, anti-tank. This one seems like it's going to be really good on champions like Aatrox. I'm sorry. Yeah, Aatrox. Aatrox for sure, because he already gets a bunch of healing. He can E to, you know, proc Spellblade, where it gives you that Sheena proc effect, and then you hit the enemy and you just get a crap ton of HP back. And it's a 1.5 second cooldown, which actually fits pretty well with Aatrox's kit. So, and, you know, it's a free 900 health essentially once you're full build. And I know Aatrox doesn't typically build health, but he does build a little bit. I believe he builds Cleaver into some matchups. So this will make his passive that much stronger. I don't know, it'd be interesting to see, for sure. But I think this is going to make Irelia, or this item right here is going to make Irelia broken. This is going to be pretty good for Darius. This could also be good, I guess, for Kled, because he can stick on you, I guess, a little bit better, even though he already sticks on people pretty well. I don't know. Enchanter Mythics, Shirley is Battle Song, discount Sivaralt, and you also get like an extra, what, 300, or yeah, 300 at level 18 worth of damage just from one champion hitting. Okay, so if you use this on 4 champions, that is 1200 damage that is going out. And if you focus that 1200 damage on the same target, that's going to be a lot of burst, believe it or not. It doesn't sound like much, like 100 damage over 3 attacks, so it's 300 attacks. It doesn't seem, or 300 damage. That doesn't seem like a whole lot. Then you start doing the math where if she hits everybody on her team on a hard engage, you're probably going to one-shot somebody if you focus them with it. But again, that requires team coordination. I think Locket's going to be really good for comps that are heavy burst, like Syndra or, you know, Talon, Zed. It's going to help keep your AD carry alive. It's going to help keep your mage alive. You get the 430 shield for any type of AoE burst damage that, you know, they may have. Like Malphite ult or something. You could pop it before, as you see Malphite coming in to hit your team. Pop this, it negates his ult, essentially. Helps keep everybody alive. This one, I don't know. This one's like way too niche. I think you're almost better off going this for survivability than you are Moonstone Reaver, because it's a 2-second cooldown on Moonstone, and yes, it's like 120 healing over. Oh no, I guess it's a flat heal. I thought it was a heal over time. It's not. It's a flat heal. I don't know how much it changes my opinion on the item. Like, I guess in a fight where you're poking, this item probably is not bad. Or if you're facing heavy poke, you could probably buy this and heal your allies up to help mitigate some of that poke. But anyway, on to legendary items. The meat of the video here. Like, it's kind of funny, the more and more I read these items, the more and more interesting they become. So, without having PvE access, it's going to be very hard for me to determine the power level. Some of them are pretty clear-cut, like the cone freeze one. Whatever, but we already went over that. Let's move on to legendary items. The Collector. 3,000 gold, plus 45 attack damage, plus 20% crit strike chance, plus 18 lethality. You deal damage that will leave an enemy below 5% health, kill them. Kills grant you an additional 25... What? Why? Why is this an item? Why is this an item in the game? So assassins are now going to get crit strike, it looks like. Interesting. Because this is a lethality item. Usually assassins build lethality. Lethality crit strike is not a very good combination, I'll tell you that right now. I don't even need to see this in action to tell you that this is a bad idea. Huh. Anyway, moving on. Nevory Quickblade, 3,400 gold, plus 60 attack damage, plus 20% crit strike chance, plus 30 ability haste. Your critical strikes with attacks reduce your non-ultimate ability cooldowns by 20% of their remaining cooldown. Did we learn absolutely nothing from Spear of Sojourn? And before anybody pops in and says, yes, it's only on critical strikes though. Think back, what champion was the champion that abused Spear of Sojourn so effectively? If your answer is Jax, you're partially correct. But if your answer is Tryndamere, then you're 100% correct. This is going to make Tryndamere busted, by the way, and it gives him ability haste too to make his E cooldown that much more, like, no, stop this, Riot. Stop. Just stop. This probably isn't going to be an AD carry item, I don't think. This is probably going to be more of a bruiser item, Tryndamere item. Unless they're like they are giving assassins crit strike chance, so. Oh my god, could you imagine, wait a minute, could you imagine Tryndamere with this item? Holy. So you get lethality, you get 20% crit there, you get 40 here, ability haste, 105 attack damage over 2 items. And then you come back up here for his mythic item, by the way, which is, which one was it? I believe it was this one, right? Yeah, gain 1% increased attack damage for every 5% of your missing attack, max 15 attack damage. And he gets ability haste, and he gets more attack damage. So this ends up being like 70 attack damage overall in ability haste. I don't want to face a Tryndamere ever again. I am utterly terrified of Tryndamere now. This actually could be built on Talon too, because Talon gets a guaranteed Q critical strike. I don't know how that interacts with his Q cooldown, if I can speak for a minute, because he hits them with it, and I think that the Q doesn't go on cooldown until after the damage comes out, which would mean that it would miss the timing to get the 20% cooldown reduction. But without actually seeing it interact with him, it's hard to say. But so far, Tryndamere's winning the League of Legends the game right now. Force of Nature, 2,900 gold, plus 350 health, plus 55 magic resist, plus 7% move speed. Taking ability damage grants you plus 6 move speed and plus 4 magic resist for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 5 times. 1 stack per unique ability. So you have to take unique ability damage in order for this to stack, right? Taking ability damage grants you 6 move speed and plus 4 magic resist for 5 seconds. Stacks up to 5 times. 1 stack per unique ability. So yes. So that, I guess that unique ability thing there is to make it to where you're not taking damage, like a poison effect, I guess. So it actually has to be an ability that hits you, not a dot. Seems pretty good. I mean, Swain will probably buy this. Or, you know, anybody who needs to deal with any type of magic resist will buy this. I think it's better than Adaptive Helm. Honestly, gives you 7% move speed. And plus 6 flat move speed, not percent. So it maxes out at plus 30 move speed. If you need to run down a Cassiopeia, not bad. By the end of it, you get what? 5 times 4, so you get 75 magic resist for 2,900 gold. Not too bad. Sorry about that. I had to step away for a minute. Where did we leave off? So Force of Nature. Again, my thoughts on that. Like I said, guys, sorry about the video. It's 53 minutes. My brain is kind of turning to mush here after going over the other items. So, apologize if I'm not as coherent as I was at the start of the video. Serpent's Fang, 2,800 gold, plus 60 attack damage, plus 18 lethality. You deal 300% additional damage to shields. So I kind of actually wonder how this item is gonna work in conjunction with like Zedalt and his death mark. Does Zed's, I imagine it has to be probably HP. He has to probably hit the HP pool in order for his death mark to deal the extra damage, right? It's not the total amount of damage he dealt with his combo. Because if it was the total amount of damage he dealt and you shielded somebody and he hit them with this, it would probably pop the shield. You get like an extra 300% damage on the combo to hit the shield. And then that damage would then be added into Deathmark's damage. And then you'd basically just one-shot somebody through shields. If that's how it works. But I don't think that's how it works. I think it actually has to be damage that hits the HP. And then that damage is echoed. If not, it'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious. This will be one I'll have to play with and see what the interaction is for it. Because we've never actually had an item that deals damage to shields like this before. We had passives in the form of Irelia, and I believe who was the other one that had it? I don't mean the Blitzcrank and Renekton interactions that currently exist, where they just remove the shield flat out. I mean, I think Kled was the other one that also dealt bonus damage to shields, right? Or was it Aatrox? It was either, I know it was 100% Irelia. I think it was Aatrox that used to have it in his passive, his Sword Stab or whatever, used to actually deal bonus damage to shields, because we were in the middle of a shield meta, and everybody was popping shields. So it is good to see if there is an item that does counter enchanter supports, because it's felt miserable facing off against shields for the longest time, and not having any way to actually remove them, and like have, what is it, Sterix that gives a free shield, you have PD that gives a free shield, Crimson Shield Bow is going to be giving a free shield. You have enchanter supports that can pop shields every like second. And then you have, comps that funnel, like you have Karma top or Lulu top or something crazy like that. And then you have an enchanter support bottom or Ivern jungle. And then you literally just spam shields on your AD carry to keep them alive. And they have like a 1.5k shield and you can't punch through it. And then they just melt you because you can't kill them during the CC chain. Horizon Focus. 3,000 gold plus 100 ability power. Damaging a champion with an ability at over 850 range or immobilizing them reveals the target and increases the damage dealt to them by 15% for 6 seconds. When was Riot gonna learn? Everybody has been complaining for years now that the game has too much damage in it. I like this item. This item's actually really good because it's utility against a certain type of champion. This is very good because it's, again, utility against a certain type of champion. It doesn't do damage, it helps you survive damage, which is nice. This item here, for as much as I hate the item, it doesn't actually give you extra kill potential. It gives you your abilities back in the form of, Trinimir spinning into you and murdering you, yes, but it's not extra damage. It doesn't power creep damage, because you actually have to build crit strike in order to get there. So an AD carry probably is never going to build this. Actually, I lie. There might be Lucian might build it as well, but because he was really good with Sojourn as well. Like the champions that were good with Sojourn are probably going to build this if they're AD carries. This right here is just ridiculous. It's a flat execute. So you're probably going to go this into Nevory Quickblade. Yeah, and then you're just going to murder things. Anyway, where were we? Presence focus. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze too. Anyway, so this is going to be really good on Zoe. I wonder if this also works in conjunction with her E already, because it already gives you bonus damage when the target's asleep. So if Zoe wasn't one-shotting you from, 850 range before, boy, you best believe she's one-shotting you now. She is going to take all of the HP instead of half of your HP. I don't like the item. Personally, I don't like it. Not to mention that this actually works insanely well with that AP item that we talked about earlier, the Frost one. Because it's immobilizing. And guess what a root's considered? A root's considered immobile. So you'd probably build that item, you'd go into Horizon's Focus, and then you dump the thing on them. Hit all your CC if you have any, whatever mage you're playing. Then you dump all of your abilities on them, and you just melt them. Like Xerath's gonna, this is just insane. This is a Xerath item, this is a Zoe item. This is any mage with hard CC as well, like I said, because it says 850 range or immobilizing. Like, the idea is for this to be an artillery mage item, because they talked about it in that video. But then I think they got cold feet last second, and then they were like, well, a lot of mages have CC. Let's give them an item too. Like, 100 ability power, I get that it gives you nothing else. But you really don't need a whole bunch more with, like I said, Zoe or Xerath, because their whole gimmick is that they poke you out of the lane. And you can make up the ability haste elsewhere. Not to mention that the mythic passive for that ice item was you get 5, I believe, or was it? No, you get 15 ability power per legendary item. So you end up with like 75. So it's like 175 for these 2 items, and yeah, I don't know. Cosmic Drive, 3,000 gold, plus 60 ability power, plus 200 health, plus 30 ability haste. Spell Dance, dealing damage with an ability grants 10 plus 20% ability haste move speed for 4 seconds. Interesting. I don't see a cooldown on this. I don't see it say a cooldown anywhere, so does that mean that you just... Oh no, it's 10 move speed, so it's flat move speed. Sorry, it's not percent move speed. I misread the thing. So that's actually not as powerful as I was thinking. It will help some mages stick to, though, a bit more, like, you know, Echo or Cassidon, who like to fight in melee range, potentially. Demonic Embrace, 3,000 gold, 80 ability power, plus 400 health. This was the one that we seen in the video when they were talking about AP Bruiser items. Like I said before, not pronouncing that gaze. Dealing ability power dealing ability damage to the champion causes them to take 2% of their maximum health as magic damage every 4 seconds. You gain 20 armor and magic resist when enemies are affected, plus 5 for each additional champion affected. So this was a stack one, by the way. So they removed the stacking effect on it. So at most, you're going to get an extra 20, so 40 and 40. So it's going to be kind of like, what, a gargoyle stone's plate worth of, you know, armor and magic resist before the passive effect comes in where you get the extra. So it's going to be like a weaker version of that. Cherilia's Grudge. Plus, I think the damage here is going to be really nice. I think Swain is probably going to go the Leandry's mythic item, and then he can build this, and it's like 6% of magical or maximum health as magic damage every 4 seconds. Or every second for 4 seconds. So I could easily see Swain building this. Definitely would like this item. Cherilia's Grudge. 3,000 gold, plus 50 attack damage. Actually, Mordekaiser would like this item too. Anyway, Grudge. Plus 50 attack damage, plus 30% armor pen, plus 20 ability haste. Your damaging abilities slow by 30% for 1 second. Feels more of an assassin item. But you already have the Duskblade slow, so I don't see why you would even need this. Because if you're assassinating somebody with the Duskblade item, you're probably going to get the cooldown, realistically. That Duskblade deals a lot of extra damage. So I don't know if this would actually, like, I don't know who would take this, honestly, unless it's like an 80 carry attack pen or armor pen item. So maybe an 80 carry? God, it doesn't say it has a cooldown either, which worries me. I'm trying to think of 80 carries that have like rapid spam abilities. Samira would be one, Ezreal would be one. If Ezreal wanted to go armor pen, he could do this and he gets ability haste for it, so he gets CDR. Huh. Silverweave Leg Plates. 3,000 gold, plus 35 attack damage, plus 200 health, plus 35 magic resist. Quicksilver. Remove all crowd control debuffs and gain 40% attack, tenacity, and slow resistance for 3 seconds and 90-second cooldown. So basically this is going to be your not your Quicksilver Sash, but your Scimitar. They just renamed it for some reason to Leg Plates instead of a Scimitar. And whatever. Chempunk Chainsword. That's a mouthful. 2,700 gold, plus 45 attack damage, plus 200 health, plus 15 ability haste. Dealing physical damage, applies 40% grievous wounds to enemy champions for 2 seconds. If the target is below 50% HP, this effect is increased to 60%. Thank you, Riot. Thank you, Riot. Finally, a way to deal with obnoxious healing in the game. This right here is absolutely amazing. And you may be thinking, well, they have to get to 50% first. That's the point. The point is that there's no longer this ridiculous amount of, oh, well, the target's at 20% HP, pop Yumi E, now he's full HP. He healed for 80% through GW, and now he's back to 100%, and it's unkillable. There's none of that anymore. If you screw up, you get punished hard. If you fall below 50% health, you are getting punished. That is amazing. Thank you for that. And I know that they said before that this is how this was going to work. You were going to give up something for it in order to have it be a sharper version of Grievous Wounds. Thank you. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I am okay with the 50% health requirement. Like I said, if a person is smart and uses their healing within that 50%, then they deserve to live. This is actually going to punish Mundo. Realistically, this absolutely craps on Mundo because Mundo has to give up a percentage of his HP in order to use his ultimate. So if a Mundo waits until he gets to 60% HP, pops his R, he actually will dip below, I believe, the 50% threshold for this, and then it will bump up to 60%, mitigating a lot of the healing he does. So he actually has to think about when to use his ult instead of just pop his ult, run you down, kill you. Thank you. Thank you, Riot. Thank you. At least there's one good change within the items. Same thing here for mages. Mages also have an item. I don't know what the build path is. I don't know if they're going to be Grievous Wounds before you build the full item at 2700. It looks like they want support enchanters to go this item, especially with the gold cost. Usually 2100 is the cost of like a enchanter item, ideally. So it looks like they may want enchanters to be the one that applies the Grievous Wounds with the base mana regen on the item. Otherwise, that just seems out of place. Staff of Flowing Water, 2100 gold, plus 60 ability power, plus 15 heal and shield power, plus 150. Yep, it is. It's an enchanter item. They want enchanters to be the one that puts GW on targets. So I'm sure the mage community is absolutely going to complain about this because they're not going to have an actual item that's efficient in doing that. But Riot has already stated that you're going to give up a lot of power. And I believe the AD equivalent does beat. Actually, the AD equivalent is more of a tank item because it gives you survivability as well. So I think this one is probably better for AD carries, honestly, than this would be for, high damage mages. Like I said, this is more for enchanters. Staff of Flowing Water, like I said, 50% heal and shield power, plus 150% base mana regen. Riptide, healing or shielding an ally grants both of you 15% move speed and 20 at level 1 to 40 at level 18 ability power for 3 seconds. So if you're playing with an AP carry, this is what you're going to go in order to, enable them. It's kind of like the equivalent of Ardent Sensor for AD carries. Ancient Runestone. 1000 gold, level 13 to purchase. Control. This item can store up to 3 purchase control wards. If you have placed 20 stealth wards, transform this item into Extal's Wardstone. So it requires level 30. So this is going to be like a support one, right? The Wardstone upgrades from Ancient Runestone, plus 25 ability haste. This item can store up to 3 purchased control wards. Increases your stealth ward and control ward caps by 1. Oh, wait. Extal Wardstone upgrade. So you buy a ward item at 1000 gold. Gives you nothing but 3 wards. It says purchase control. Oh, control wards. Pink wards. I'm so stupid. I'm thinking of stealth wards. I was so confused. Like, are they going back to having to actually purchase stealth wards or something? Yeah, no, this makes sense. Never mind. I misread it. Okay. So I think I got it now. So this is going to be good on champions that require ward hops. So like your Lee Sin, your Jax, all them. This is something you could probably buy that would get you a lot of value. If you place 20 stealth wards, transform this item into Exile's Wardstone. Upgrades from Ancient Runestone. And for that, you get plus 25 ability haste. This item can store up to 3 purchase control wards. Increase your stealth ward and control ward caps by 1. So once you level this up from this to this, you get an extra ward. But I don't know why it says it can only store up to 3. Unless it means the amount of control and stealth wards you can place on the map by 1. That's what it has to be, because if you can only purchase 3 control wards and hold 3, then the cap must be the amount you can place. That's really strong for vision. That's really strong for supports. This is probably going to be more of a support item. I could still see some Lee Sin getting some value out of it somehow. For sure. Some way, somehow. Ward upgrade, Wardstone upgrade. I'm not, okay, so this is actually upgraded into a third form. 2100 gold to upgrade it. Fourth or plus 40 ability power, plus 10% move speed. This item can store up to 3 purchase control wards, increase your stealth ward and control ward caps by another 1. So right now you can only put 1 pink ward down. If you max this out, you get 3 pink wards. I think the current stealth ward is capped at 3. So you would get 5 stealth wards. That's actually pretty strong for vision. So this is definitely going to be a support item. Like I said, I do think that Lee could potentially do some like cheesy things with this. I don't think Jax will. I think Lee will be probably the one you see the most do some cheesy things with this because Lee likes wards. He absolutely likes wards. And I get that, you know, it doesn't increase the amount that you can carry, it increases the amount you can put down. But that's still not bad when you think about it, because as Lee said, you can put wards over walls. You can use them kind of as like discount Rek'Sai tunnels in a way. So there is that. Updated legendary items. Infinity Edge. 3400 gold, plus 80 attack damage, plus 20 crit strike chance. Infinite Precision. Grant an additional 8% crit strike damage per 20% crit strike chance. So instead of dealing the flat, 1.5 multiplier on a crit, it's now going to be 8% per 20% crit strike. So at max, at 100 crit strike, you would have what? 5 times 8, 40% crit strike damage. I think that's a little weaker than what the current one is. Because now if you crit, you get like a 1.5 multiplier. So I think it comes in just under that. I'm not sure. Somebody do the math. Like I said, it's an hour into the video. My math is like fried. Let's move on to Ginsu's. By the way, the other thing to take away from this is that every single crit strike item so far has only been 20%. There isn't any 25% items. So it's kind of like an indirect nerf to Yon and Yasuo. They're actually going to have to build 3 items in order to get 100% crit. So anyway, Ginsu's Rage Blade. 3200 gold, plus 50 attack speed, plus 20% crit strike chance. So Ginsu's is getting crit strike back. I believe it had crit strike a couple seasons ago. Ginsu's Exile. Attacks deal 40 magic damage on hit per 20% of crit chance, but can no longer critically strike. Every third attack applies on hit effects twice. So they are buffing Ginsu's a little bit. And they're keeping the third instead of every second auto. That was a nerf to Ginsu's back when Sojourn was around. So Ginsu's Chaos didn't get changed, but they did buff the item. They gave it crit strike. It no longer has the scaling attack damage or AP pen or whatever, because it got moved to pen, right? So it no longer has that either. And it did have a little bit of attack damage, but now it's just a flat attack speed item. So yeah, I don't think the item's bad. They are forcing 80 carries to go crit though. That's mildly amusing for sure. So at 100% crit, this is going to deal 200 of damage per on hit, per auto. Oh, wow. It doesn't say it stacks either. Because Ginsu's used to be a stacking effect. It doesn't look like it's a stacking effect anymore. That makes you attack faster as you attack. They've completely reworked the item. It's still kind of what it was before, but it's kind of a mix between what it was in the past and what the update was for it. All in all, the Kraken Slayer is gonna hit like a monster. You are gonna get crushed by Kraken Slayer. Lord Dominic's regards. 3000 gold, plus 30 attack damage, plus 20% crit strike chance, plus 30% armor pen. Deal up to 20% bonus physical damage against champions with greater maximum health than you. Maximum bonus at 2000 max health difference. Huh. So this actually used to be what it was before, right? Instead of like flat armor pen, it used to actually have this effect in there, the Giant Slayer. It is interesting that they're adding crit strike to it, because then that means that assassins are going to have access to crit strike. Because assassins will probably still build Lord Dominic's, and there's the other item, the contract one, that gives you crit. So you could actually, as an assassin, go Lord Dominic's and the contract and have 40% crit between the two items. I mean, would it be efficient? Probably not. But at the same time, you crit, you're gonna one-shot somebody all that more efficiently. Essence Reaver, 2900 gold, plus 40 attack damage, plus 20% crit strike chance, plus 20 ability haste. Spellblade. After using an ability, your next attack deals an additional 100% base attack damage, plus 40% bonus attack damage, and restores 3% of your maximum mana. 1.5 second cooldown. So they're kind of buffing Essence Reaver a little bit. They still have the CDR or the ability haste on it. It's still kind of low on the attack damage side for a crit item. Still has, crit strike chance added to it, but now it has a Spellblade effect. So basically, it's like Trinity for AD carries, essentially, or Lichbane. Phantom Dancer is up next. It's 2900 gold, plus 40% attack speed, plus 20% crit strike chance, plus 7% move speed. Spectral Waltz. Attacks grant ghosting and move 7%, and 7% move speed for 2 seconds. Attacking 5 times causes Spectral Waltz to also grant 40% attack speed. So if you hit the target 4 or 5 times, you just go straight up to 80% attack speed and probably are going to melt them. I keep saying a Giant Slayer is just going to be absolutely insane. I could easily see a Phantom Dancer Ginsu's IE build. Boots, the other, you'd have one more item slot. Giant Slayer would be pretty good against tanks if there's a heavy tank lineup. They also removed the lifeline effect, the shield, because they put it in the Crimson Shield Bow. I was curious what they were going to do with that. Gargoyle Stoneplate, 3300 gold, plus 60 armor, plus 60 magic resist, plus 15 ability haste. Monolith. Gain 100 plus 100 bonus health shield that decays over 2.5 seconds, 90-second cooldown. Strength of Stone increases your bonus armor and bonus magic resist by 3% for 6 seconds when a champion deals damage to you. Stacks up to 5 times, 1 per enemy. So you only get 1 stack per enemy. You have to get hit by all 5 of the enemies to get the 15% benefit. They did remove the extra health on this, so this is kind of an indirect nerf, like I talked about with Cho'Gath walking up and popping stone or Gargoyle Stoneplate. That's no longer a thing. It just gives you a flat shield, which scales off 100% bonus health. So instead of giving you health, it gives you a gigantic shield. And it also doesn't have the doubling effect when near 5 enemy champions. You actually have to get hit by 5 champions in order to get 15% more of those stats. Like I said, nerf to Cho'Gath. Nerf to any champion that uses a bunch of HP as damage. I do know that the original Gargoyle Stone skin did reduce damage by like 50% for having that extra HP, but at the same time, kind of a nerf to those champions. But at the same time, I think the item is healthier overall. Spirit Visage, or Visage. 2900 gold, 450 health, 40 magic resist, and ability haste. Indomitable Will. Increases all healing received by 25% and all shielding received by 15%. So this is new. They're actually buffing Spirit Visage to where now it gives 15% extra shielding as well. That's pretty strong, not gonna lie. I like it. It's a good change. Helps that item out a lot. Helps that item feel really good as a magic resist item. And it also works in conjunction with any item that gives you a shield, like Stone Skin Gargoyle Plate. You can get an extra 15% shield. Abyssal Mask, 2700 gold, plus 350 health, plus 60 magic resist. Ruin. Immobilizing an enemy champion reduces their armor and magic resist by 25% for 4 seconds. So, again, targeted towards Swain. This is going to be an AP Bruiser item now. Frozen Heart, Amumu would also benefit from it. Mordekaiser would also benefit from it because I believe his E is considered an immobilizing? Not sure on that one. I know obviously Amumu and Swain have like roots. I don't know how Mordekaiser's E is coded. I don't know if it's considered a root, which would be an immobilize, or what it's considered as. Frozen Heart, 2700 gold, 80 armor, 400 mana, 20 ability haste. So they're actually reducing the armor by, I believe, 20. Reduces the attack speed of nearby enemies by 15%. Rock Salad, reduce incoming damage from attacks by up to 7 per 1000 total health, capped at 40% of the attack's damage. Interesting. So basically, there is a minimum amount that the auto attack will do, and that's 40%. But this is going to be really good for armor stacking champions, Malphite, Rammus, Ornn, because Ornn can do whatever he wants. I like the item. I think it's going to be pretty good. It's kind of got like it's got a Ninja Tabby's effect to it, which is what needed to be in a tank item and not on boots. Absolutely love this item. I love this. This will hopefully kill Tabbies and Death Dance. We'll see. We'll see what's still in the game here. Randuin's Omen. 2,700 gold, plus 250 health, plus 80 armor, plus 80 or 10 ability haste. Active. Briefly slow nearby enemies and reduce their attack damage by 10% and critical strike damage by 20% for 4 seconds. It has the rock solid passive, which we just went over with Frozen Heart. So you can either build this or Frozen Heart. If you need to reduce the attack speed of enemies, you go reduce their attack damage by 10. You'd go Frozen Heart if you would need to reduce the attack speed. If you want to reduce the flat damage, if they're hitting you like hard with like one ability, you would go this. Because it would reduce the attack damage by 10%, and if they crit, it reduces that damage by 20%. I think it's like a 30% reduction, essentially, is what it gets down to if it crits. And then you have this, which also reduces the incoming attacks as well. So the item at least has to deal 40% of what the attack would have done, and then I think the calculation comes in from that. Sorry, I had to kind of got me off guard there. Oof. But anyway, the 40% comes in, and then it's 10% reduced from the attack damage, and then 20% from the crit strike if it crits. So, hopefully that made sense. I apologize. That burp threw me way off. Sorry about that. Titanic Hydra. 3,300 gold, 30 attack damage, plus 550. Titanic, gain 1.5% total health bonus attack damage. Okay. Cleave, basic attacks deal 5 plus 1.5% bonus attack damage as physical damage to your target, and 40 plus 3% bonus health, bonus physical damage to other enemies in a cone hit. Cleave damage is also applied to structures. So if you're stacking the HP, you're going to hit pretty hard, and it's a pretty good health item. It's like 550. It's not really a defensive item, it's more of a damage item, like it's always been. There is no longer the health regen on the item, though, base regen. Ouch, I did notice that. Ravenous Hydra. 3,333 gold, or 3,300 gold. 65 attack damage, plus 20 ability haste, plus 15 physical vamp. Ravenous physical vamp also applies to true damage you deal. So, does that mean that? Yeah, whatever. Cleave. Attacks deal up to 60% total attack damage, or as physical damage to other nearby enemies. Minimum 12% total attack damage to enemies furthest away. So it's still the same item it's always been. Black Cleaver. 3,300 gold. 4,000 attack. Yeah, it's 4,000 attack damage, by the way, for a 3,000 item, 3,000 gold item. No, but 40 attack damage, 300 health, 25 ability haste. Dealing physical damage to an enemy reduces their armor by 4% for 6 seconds, max 24%. So that's what, 8 stacks, right? Quick maths. 8, 16, 24. Yep, 8 stacks. Your abilities or your attacks and abilities against enemies you fully shredded deal bonus physical damage equal to 5% of their missing health, 2% for each, or 2% for damage over time effects. 0.5 second cooldown. Wow. So Black Cleaver is going to be... God, I don't even know. I'm sure there's a way to fit this into an assassin's build as well, obviously. It gives you a little bit more survivability. If you need to be an assassin and you need to be a little bit more, you know, survivable, the 300 health will help. It's more of the bruiser item, I believe. I would imagine most times you're probably just going to kill them outright as an assassin, though, and you're not going to get 8 stacks to actually apply the 5% of missing health. So I think it'd be overkill on an assassin. Obviously, I think it's probably made more for, you know, bruisers into tanks. Derek's Gauge, 3,100 gold, 50 attack damage, plus 400 health. After dealing or taking damage against an enemy champion, restore 3% total health over 6 seconds. This stacks and refreshes per unique champion up to 5 times. Wow, so you can get a total of 15% total health over 6 seconds. And it refreshes every time you hit the champions. So if, like, let's say you're Darius, you Q in, you then hit 5 people, you get, you know, 15% of your health back on top of the Q heal, on top of, you know, if you take the other Trinity item, or not the Trinity item, but the Gore Field or whatever, the one that gives you the other AoE circle attack that heals you. Sorry guys, it's, like I said, it's early and we're on like an hour and a half now of this video. Lifeline. Upon taking damage, I will reduce you below 30% health, gain a 200 health shield, plus 7.5 total health per shield per stack of rage for 8 seconds. 90-second cooldown. So, wow, that's a gigantic shield when you think about it. If you happen to hit 5 champions in a team fight and then gain this shield, you're automatically guaranteed 1,000 health shield. And then it also scales off of your 7.5% of your total health. So, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Wow, it looks like Death's Dance is going to be in an interesting spot. So, anyway, it costs 3,100 gold, plus 50 attack damage, plus 40 armor, plus 15 ability haste. So, it no longer has MR. Ignore pain, 35% of physical damage taken, 15% for range, is dealt over 3 seconds instead. And it's not dealt as true damage or whatever it was before. Defy, champion takedowns grant you 30% move speed for 2 seconds. Cleanse, ignore pain's remaining damage, and heal you for 20% total health over the duration. I like this. I like this reworked version of Death's Dance. I think it's going to be really good. Because currently Death's Dance is an item that is absolutely busted. Absolutely busted in live. It's so busted to the point where AD carries are actually taking the item, like I talked about at the top of the video. Like, the item is just insane. So now it no longer ignores magic damage, which is good. It has no MR on it, so you're not going to build it against mages. And you actually have to get champion takedowns, which is a killer assist, in order to get the heal from the item. And it'll cleanse ignore pain's remaining damage for a takedown, which is fair. If you can kill an enemy, then you deserve to have it cleansed and you deserve to have the heal. It's great. This is only going to be built on bruisers, I believe, now, which is what it was intended for. Because if an AD carry builds this and they get the 15% over 3 seconds instead, more times than not, they're not going to kill the enemy before they die. Plus, obviously, it doesn't ignore magic damage, so, you know, if an Annie walks up on an Ashe and drops Tibbers, and Tibber gives her the old Tea Party special, then, whoa. Go back in, please. Then, you know, she dies anyway. Or Ezreal or whatever. Doesn't matter. Wits End, 3,100 gold. Point is, Death's Dance is nerfed. I'm very happy for that. Wits End, 3,100 gold, plus 40 attack damage, plus 40 attack speed, plus 40 magic resist. Cursed, your basic attacks deal 15 at level 1 to 80 at level 18, bonus magic damage on hit, and grant you 20 move speed for 2 seconds. So it no longer has the lifeline passive. It's still going to be a pretty good MR item. You just get the bonus attack, bonus magic damage or whatever on hit. And you get more move speed to stick to targets. Blade of the Ruined King, 2,900 gold, plus 40 attack damage, plus 30 attack speed, plus 15 lifesteal, so it's actually up 3% from what it is on live. Ruined Edge, attacks deal additional physical damage equal to 10%, 8% for range of the target's current health on hit. Max 60 bonus damage to minions and monsters. Siphon, attacking a champion 3 times steals 25% move speed for 2 seconds. 20-second cooldown. So it no longer has the active where it just steals move speed and deals 100 damage to the target. It now applies after you hit the target 3 times. Interesting design choice. Zeke's Convergence, 2,400 gold, plus 300 health, plus 30 armor, plus 250 mana, plus 20 ability haste. Active Conduit. Designate an accomplice, 60-second cooldown. Convergence, when you immobilize an enemy for the next 4 seconds, your accomplice's attacks and spells deal 25 at level 1, deal 50 at level 18, plus 1% or 1.25% total health bonus magic damage to that enemy once per attack or spell or spell per enemy. Champions can only be linked by one Zeke's Convergence at a time. So I guess that kind of eliminates, you know, chaining a bunch of supports and then running into people and dealing a crap ton of bonus damage. Once per attack or spell per enemy. That's not bad. I think that's a pretty good one. I kind of like the old Zeke's better, where it created the Frostfire effect where it slowed. It helped your AD carry get within range. It provided a bit more utility for you as the support because it allowed you to slow down enemies to peel a bit more efficiently. But I guess this isn't bad either. It's only going to be built on, you know, champions like Ali. Basically tank supports, essentially, that have the ability to immobilize. Knight's Vow, 2,300 gold, plus 400 health, plus 200% base health regen, plus 10% ability haste. Oathsworn, designate an ally who is worthy, 60-second cooldown. While your worthy ally is nearby, redirect 15% of the damage they take to you, and if they have less than 50% health, gain 35% move speed while moving towards them. Champions can only be linked by one Knight's Vow. Damage reduction stops if you have less than 30% HP. That's good, so you can't kill yourself with the item. Because your AD carry unfortunately takes like a Jinx Rocket or something and you're low. That is good to hear at least. Mikhail's Blessing. 2,100 gold, plus 30% heal and shield power, plus 200 health, plus 15 ability haste, plus 150% base mana regen. Quicksilver's Gift. Remove all crowd control debuffs from an ally champion and heal them for 100 at level 1 to 200 at level 18, 120-second cooldown. I like it. I think that's a pretty good item. You not only get to remove CC from your ally, you also get to heal them for a bit. And in a team fight, if your AD carry gets targeted by some backline tank or something, you can easily remove that and heal them at the same time. And you also get, plus 30% heal and shield power. I think this is probably the most heal and shield power buff so far. I think the other one was only, 15? Mortal Reminder, 2,700 gold, plus 20 attack damage, plus 25 attack speed, plus 20 crit strike chance, plus 7% move speed. Curse, dealing physical damage applies 40% grievous wounds to enemy champions for 2 seconds. Dealing 3 consecutive attacks to an enemy champion enhances the effect to 60% grievous wounds against them until the effect ends. Wow. So you either buy the other 2 items, which apply at 50%. So maybe this is the 80 carry version. This is actually the 80 carry version because that has crit strike chance. So the item I talked about earlier, the chainsaw blade or whatever, that's probably going to be used for maybe 80 bruisers. Yeah, probably 80 bruisers to apply GW to targets. And then this will be what 80 carries used to apply it. And then mages have their own item. Thornmail. 2,700 gold, plus 350 health, plus 60 armor. Cursed. When struck by an attack, deal 10 plus 10% bonus armor magic damage to the attacker and apply 40% grievous wounds for 2 seconds. If they are a champion, immobilizing enemy champions also apply 60% grievous wounds for 2 seconds. Wow. So this means that tanks have a way of applying GW now. Actually, the tank's GW is actually still fundamentally problematic. Oh, never mind. They're a champion. So if you apply immobilizing effects to enemy champions, then you do get the 60%. So it doesn't have to already be on them and then immobilize them. Never mind. So tanks have a clear way to put, GW on mages, like Vladimir, for example. Bruisers have an item that helps them. AP mages have an item that helps them. AP bruisers have an item that helps them. I like this. They're actually itemizing every single class to have an item that applies GW in a way that actually makes GW feel useful. Because it sucks right now playing a tank into Vladimir, because if you build Thornmail, it's obviously never going to apply GW, because he doesn't auto-attack you at all. He just spams abilities in the mid to late game, and you're just never going to apply GW. So you're kind of relying on your team to build a GW item in order to apply it. Whereas now, if you're playing Malphite, you just R into them. Everybody has 60% healing reduction, and you win the team fight. I like it. Good job, Brian. This is actually one of the changes that I actually do think will be good for the game overall. Speaking of the mage item, Morellonomicon, 2,500 gold, plus 70 ability power, plus 250 health. Dealing magic damage applies 40% grievous wounds to enemy champions for 2 seconds. If the target is below 50%, this is increased to 60% grievous wounds. Again, like it a lot. Muramana transforms from Mana Moon. Plus 35 attack damage, plus 750 mana, plus 15 ability haste. Gain 3% maximum mana as attack damage. Single target abilities and champions deal 5% maximum mana, bonus physical damage. So I think it's the same as what it was before. I don't know. They may have changed the mana numbers. Seraph's Embrace transforms in from Archangel's Staff. 80% ability, or plus 80, not 80%, plus 80 ability power, plus 750 mana. Kind of the same thing for, these 2 items. They both now scale mana if you build them, like they have always done. Evolved legendary items. The items below were evolved into some of the other mythics above. Like we talked about, Sunfire Cape is Sunfire Aegis. Glory is Berserker Suit. Gauntlet is Frostfire. Duskblade is Duskblade. Okay. Liandry's Torment is Liandry's Anguish now. Tempest is Luden's Echo. Rocket Belt is the Proto Belt. Trinity Force is Trinity Force still. Cherulia's Revelry is Battle Song. And Locket of the Iron Slary was Locket of the Iron Slary. Looks like we're at the end of this. Holy crap. It's an hour and 34 into the video, by the way, and I've been recording this for 2 hours. I've been taking small breaks in between using the pause function for OBS, or else I probably would have messed up multiple times throughout this video. or it would be even worse than what it already is. Removed legendary items. These items have effects that were too off the mark to salvage, too heavily overlapping with other options, able to be accomplished better in other ways, or only needed because the item system wasn't able to properly support its overall users. Adaptive Helm is gone. Athene's is gone. Frozen Mallet is gone. Hextech GLP, you're cut. Hextech Gunblade, get out of here. No more Hextech Gunblade. I didn't really see an item, I don't think, that replaced Hextech Gunblade, so that will be interesting. Spellbinder, yeah, you're cut as well. Static Shiv, kind of interesting, they kept Rapid Fire, but they cut Shiv. Twin Shadows, you're gone. Jungle items, see the selection at the bottom of the page. Maintained legendary items. I guess these items will have balance changes and often changes to the stats they offer, but their effects will work the same, so you play around them pretty much the same ways you do now. We're just including a section for people who CTR left for specific legendaries. So all these items will still exist, but they're going to be changed in some way, or a little bit, like stat-wise would be my guess. We're taking cues from last year's update to support items, which were reduced support item gold investment in their team to a one-time starter purchase. Junglers will pick one of the 2 starter items, which, after smiting a few times, will disappear from their inventory to permanently grant its effects as a passive and upgrade smite to either or. Let's see. Doran's 4 chart. 350 gold, 10% Omnivamp versus monsters, so these two are the same. I think Tooth and Nail, 2%, 5%. So yeah, the smites are the same. It still does the same thing as what the talisman does. The only difference, I think, is going to be the Frostborn Path and the Ashen Path, because one is chilling and one is challenging. Ashen Path is challenging smite, which is red smite, and chilling smite is the Frostborn, so it's Doran's Hailsteed. And then everything else is the same. And then Huntsman is a new one where killing large monsters grants 60 bonus experience. The first large monster killed grants 150 bonus experience instead. I'm not sure if that's on the current jungle items or not. That's the Rift team. Okay, so Frostborn Path, smiting 5 times. You have to smite 5 times. So let's do the math here on this one. So you get what? Smite is a 90-second cooldown. You get 2 charges right away. Essentially, you get 2 charges right away. So you start at 15. So let's say you smite right away at 130. You then have, I believe, 15 seconds till the next smite. I want to say it's 15 seconds till the next smite. So that means you can get 2 smite charges within 2 minutes. Because you'd use your first one, and then you'd use your second one at 1:45 in order to get 2 charges down, and then you'd sit for 90 seconds. So 90 times 3, 270. Divide that by 60. That's 4.5 minutes. So that means that you won't have, if you smite on cooldown camps, that means that you will not have red or blue smite until roughly about 6 minutes into the game. I think at like 6:20, if I did the math correct. That's if you smite perfectly and you're not ganking when smite comes up. It'll be 6 minutes 20 seconds of the game. That is really, really late into the game. So I think this is going to change how Crab is fought for. I have heard changes to the jungle coming that Gromp is going to be what regens your HP instead of Crab. So that's also going to be interesting to see how this all affects. If Crab's still going to be as important as it is now, where it gives you the HP so you can gank right away, gives you the extra XP, it gives you the extra, gold. So that way you can back and you can go get your jungle item at like 3 minutes. I'm sorry, at like, not 3 minutes, but at like, 3:45 or something after you gank, and if you get a kill, you just go buy your chilling or challenging. So to move it up an extra 2 minutes and about 20 seconds, realistically, you're probably looking at, in most games, probably 7 to 8 minutes on your smite if you're ganking a lot and you're not actually keeping up with your smite timers. God, that sounds horrible. So the jungler who farms correctly and is able to get their well, not to mention that you actually have another 90 seconds on top of that 6:20, because once you get challenging or chilling smite, you're still going to have the 90-second cooldown. So you're not going to be able to actually use it until 7, let's see. So 620 plus 90 is a minute 30. So you're not going to be able to use it till around 750. Unless they're changing how Smite works as a summoner spell in general, and they're reducing the cooldown on it, that means you're not going to have access to challenging Smite until 720, or chilling. And if you happen to not do jungle clears with your Smite up, and you don't do your camps right away when it's active, that means you're probably pushing into like 10 minutes in order to get chilling or challenging. And I'm kind of curious how the items are going to upgrade from having challenging and challenging to like warrior, blood razor, runic echoes, and all that. Or if you're still going to be able to upgrade your item, but you're just not going to have access to the bonus smite. So many things to consider with these jungle changes. Anyway, that is probably going to do it for this video, guys. I'm running on empty. It's about an hour 40 video. Like I said, I've been recording for 2 hours. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think. I know I kind of got off the rails a little bit on some of this. It's really hard to sit down and actually do like a 2-hour video. It really is, and not lose focus along the way when you're trying to talk about some of the items and you're trying to name drop some of the champions that benefit from these changes. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if anybody can tell me who is a ranged assassin that is physical, I still can't think of it off the top of my head. That is the question of the video. What is a ranged physical champion? If somebody can let me know down below, I would greatly appreciate it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you did find it informative for what it is. If you have any questions, I'm more than willing to go over it once I have a fresh mindset. Anything I may have confused you on, let me know. I will clear it up as best I can as I understand it. If you have access to PB, go check out the items. You can go check them out right now. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I have 2 more videos to record today. Not sure if I'm going to take a break in between. I think I'm going to probably take like a couple-hour break. They may actually just go up tomorrow because I still got to make the thumbnail for this video. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the content, please like the video. That is the biggest thing you can do for me because it tells me what content you guys are enjoying. And it also helps combat the YouTube algorithm, which is just busted. Anyways, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the pre